Hello everyone and welcome to our first Monday Mobilizer. It is also the first day of the new year, so thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. Your body and I very much appreciate it. The intention of our Monday sessions together is to really start, cat hair flying all over the place, is to really start the week in a place of peace, connecting to our body, really focusing on mobilizing our body, flexibility, starting the week with some calmness is kind of the intention here. And then we have our midweek microdose, which is shorter and probably going to be a bit more intense since it's shorter, and then a full body flow Friday, which is going to be more typically paced Pilates, I suppose. But the Monday sessions are just all about starting the week in a place of being grounded and peaceful and connected to our body while improving our mobility. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start in a supine position, and I invite you to just kind of play around with how close your feet are to your body, how far, but we do want our feet and knees to be touching one another. Place your arms down at your side. You can have them palms up, palms down. You can even hold on to your hip bones if you want, and just really take a moment and find a place that is comfortable. Just start noticing your breath. Maybe it's fast, maybe it's slow if you're doing this first thing in the morning. Maybe you're not even awake yet, so just start to notice that breath, and then go ahead and close your eyes too if this helps. Hopefully you won't fall back asleep if you are doing this in the morning. Go ahead and slowly drop that left knee down to the ground as far as it feels comfortable. And inhale to return. Exhale to drop the right knee. And inhale to return. Exhale to lower. Inhale to return. Just going to keep alternating. We are just starting to wake the body up. We're just starting to sync our breath to the movement. Getting grounded on the mat. Focusing on our breath helps us focus on the movement and be present. Let's go ahead and drop both at the same time. So exhale to lower, inhale to return, and maybe try switching it up. So inhale to lower, exhale to return. Going to do some femur arcs here, so you have the option of keeping one foot on the ground and just floating that right foot up, setting it down, kind of slowly marching in place. Or you can bring both feet into a tabletop and just tap one toe at a time and lightly kiss the mat. Whatever is comfortable. But again, really focus on syncing that breath. So maybe exhale to lower, inhale to raise. Maybe inhale to lower, exhale to raise. I think that's what I said. I'm really bad about doing that, saying the same thing twice. Regardless, there is no right or wrong way to breathe. Just really try and find a pattern that feels good to you. Now let's hold it here at the top. You have the option of keeping both feet on the mat, or if you have them up in a tabletop, go ahead and place your arms out to the side, really keeping those shoulder blades nice and heavy on the mat. We're going to slowly exhale and drop to one side. Again, keeping those shoulder blades on the mat. And inhale back to center. And exhale. And inhale to return. Again, you can do this with both feet on the mat, just dropping them slowly to one side. And inhaling to return. Whatever feels comfortable for your body this morning. Do this a few more times. You're in no rush. Let's go ahead and hold it at the top. Let's grab our feet and come into a happy baby. And let's just really take some nice deep breaths here. I encourage you to soften your forehead, that space in between your eyebrows. Relax your jaw, release your shoulders. Just really soften the knees. Take nice deep breaths. And if you would like to try an inversion, I invite you to, if this seems a bit much, absolutely just stay in that happy baby, but I invite you to extend your legs and rest comfortably in that space between the shoulder blades. We're not balancing on our neck or head. If you feel pressure on your neck or head, go ahead and drop that pelvis a little bit back and down towards the mat. Soften your knees. You don't need to have locked legs. Just taking a moment here to release that lower back. Go ahead and exhale and return to the happy baby. One more deep inhale, and then as we exhale, let's go ahead and drop our feet to the mat, extend the legs, and extend our arms over our head. We're going to do a roll up into a little spine stretch. So let's just take a big inhale, and as we exhale, we're slowly rolling, articulating that spine. Let's pause at the top here. Let's sit up nice and long, feeling that length through the crown of the head. As we inhale, we're visualizing space in between our vertebrae. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck our chin to our chest, curl forward, imagining someone is pulling backwards on our hips. Stretching as if someone else is pulling on our fingertips. If you can, grab your toes, grab your shins, whatever is comfortable, and let's really soften into this stretch. Release the tops of your thighs, soften at the knees. Grabbing whatever part feels comfortable, bending the knees as we need. And go ahead and slowly restack that spine. Again, envisioning that string pulling the top of our head up towards the ceiling. Tilt that pelvis back And slowly unwind. Arms back overhead. Let's do that one more time, but this time we're going to go straight into the spine stretch. Just big inhale. Exhale, curl that spine, peel it off of the mat, straight into that spine stretch, grabbing whatever feels comfortable. Again, releasing the tension in the tops of the thighs, softening in our knees, doing a quick body scan, making sure that our shoulders are nice and relaxed. And go ahead, restack that spine, come up to a nice tall seated position. We're going to go ahead and swing our legs around, coming into a little Z-sit position here. So we want both cheeks to be on the mat. If you need to grab a pillow or maybe roll up the mat to kind of give you some support, please do so. But we're only going to be here for a second. Go ahead and put one hand, so I'm really bad with my left and right. My right knee is in front, so I'm placing my right hand onto the mat. And we're going to, if this feels right for you, you can stay seated. We're just going to take a nice big inhale, push those hips forward, let the neck just kind of relax. Envisioning our ribs fanning open like a paper fan. Let's return to a seated position. Swing those legs around. Plant that hand firmly on the mat. Big breath. Sending those hips forward, fanning open those ribs. Softening with the neck. And return back down. We're going to come into a quadruped. So go ahead and find a position that feels nice and stable. Our hands underneath our shoulders, our knees stacked under our hips. We're finding length through the crown of our head. Our gaze is looking at the mat. We're just going to take a moment here. Do a few cat-cows. Let's go ahead and inhale. Drop those ribs towards the mat. And exhale, round the tailbone. Drop the head. And a nice neutral spine. Take that right hand, reach up towards the ceiling, getting that nice rotation, taking our gaze with us, opening that chest. Let's go to the left side, really reaching up. Our gaze is with us. And start to wake up the knees a little bit. Go ahead and drag that right toe back so it's touching the ground. We're going to raise it so that it is just about parallel with our body. We might feel a nice little stretch at the hip, which is good because we don't want to move that lower back. We want to keep it nice and neutral. We're just going to slowly draw the foot in towards the body, feeling it at the knee. We're going to extend it back as if someone is pulling on your toe, pulling towards the wall behind you, and tap it down to the ground. So we come up, we bend, we extend, really reaching long, and tap. Let's make sure we're staying lifted in our shoulders. So we bend, extend, and tap. 2 more times. Bend, extend, and tap. Last time. Bend, extend, and tap. come onto our forearm. Our right hand is nice and firmly planted on the mat here. We have this nice little rotation, so the top of your foot is facing the same direction as your gaze. And I really want you to imagine again that someone is pulling on your toe. When it is extended, I want you to just really think about reaching those toes as long as you can towards the wall behind you. And as we draw the foot towards our body, we're going to circle that femur and we're going to extend. So we draw the foot in as we circle the femur bone slowly around the hip socket, keeping the back nice and quiet. It's just that leg that's moving. Really extend and bend as we rotate. Last time here, extend and circle. Now as we extend, really feel the support in this front hand as we take our toe and tap out to the ground in front of us. Come back up high and lower just a little bit behind us. Again, trying to keep our back nice and still, putting that support in that front arm as we make this little triangle shape here. 2 more times. Last one. All right, let's go ahead and do the other side. Take a moment and get yourself nice and situated in this quadruped. Again, feeling the length through the crown of our head as we extend that left leg back, raise it up, really reaching towards that wall behind us as we bend and extend. And notice that this knee might feel a little different than the other. And as we extend, we do tap down to the ground. I was distracted with my knee flexion there. Extend and reach, and then tap. Bend, extend, and tap. Bend, extend, and tap. Staying lifted in our shoulders, making sure that we're not letting those ribs sink down. 2 more times. Last one here. Really extend and tap. All right, we can actually leave that foot on the ground as we come onto our forearm here. We're going to raise that leg, feeling that nice external rotation. As we bend, we're circling that femur, and then we are extending towards that wall behind us. So we're bending and circling, and then really extending. We're starting to wake up our lower body. It's also a lot of upper body work too, keeping ourselves nice and lifted. 2 more times. Now again, feeling that support in that front hand as we take that foot and tap it out in front. Come back up and then tap just a little bit behind us. We don't have a huge range of motion without bending that lower back. And that's okay. Two more times. Last one. All right, let's go ahead and And do our cat-cow here. Inhaling and exhaling around that tailbone. Coming to neutral. Let's send that right arm up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to thread it through. Let's just hang out here for a quick second. Softening into the movement. Releasing our shoulders. Back up, sending that left hand up towards the sky. And threading it through. Coming back up. We're going to tuck our toes underneath of us. We're going to send our hips up towards the ceiling and just pedal our feet in this downward dog motion. Just really start to wake up the backs of our legs. And then getting into this nice plank position, get yourself to where you feel nice and supported. And then we're slowly going to lower ourselves into our swan one position. So our feet are tucked underneath of us, our spine, our chest is shining forward, our gaze is ahead. Just taking a moment and go ahead and come into a child's pose. I like to do these little prayer hands on top of my head. It feels really nice for the back of my arms. And we're going to come back up and do that swan one position again, but this time we're keeping our toes together in this kind of diamond shape. Really keeping that nice open chest. Thinking of our collarbone is smiling forward. All right, and coming onto our knees here. We are almost done. I'm just going to take a quick second. Take a nice deep breath and go ahead and drop that chin towards your chest. Just start to slowly roll back and forth. Just gently. Take that right ear over your right shoulder. Let's extend that left hand down and away. Really feel that stretch on the side of your neck, but try and really soften into it. Lower that right shoulder. Go ahead and switch. Lowering that left shoulder. Breathing into that stretch. Go ahead and return to center. Let's interlace our fingers and take a nice big inhale, letting those ribs raise. And as we exhale, wiggle the fingers all the way down. All right, guys, that concludes our first Monday Mobilizer. I hope you are feeling a sense of some peace and some connection to our breath. Just a reminder that as you go throughout your day, there's a lot of things that can be frustrating. Traffic is something that used to really bother me. And I've found that through practicing Pilates, if you just seriously just reconnect to your breath, just take a breath, just notice how you're breathing, it can just really reset everything. So hopefully you are feeling nice and mobile. Just be aware throughout the day how you're moving, how you're reaching for things, as you put on your seatbelt. Can you do it without trying to, turn your whole body? Can you just, use your arm? Can you just take some more deep breaths throughout the day? I come from an accounting background, so a lot of people in my life right now are about to go through kind of a very hectic time of the year. It's also for my northern hemisphere people, kind of getting cold and gross out. So again, just however much you can check in with yourself, with your body, with your breath, it really, really does help make things a little bit easier. So I hope that this started your week with a bit of peace, and I can't wait to see you Wednesday for our not first microdose, but I guess first microdose of the new year.